Day 16, percent of increase and decrease and applications of percents. So we're going to start with percents of increase and decrease. In order to find these, you can use your formula of new minus original divided by the original. If we look at some examples, for the first one, it says a membership of the film club increased from 24 to 30. Find the percent of increase. So our original is the 24, our new is the 30. So we can do new minus original, so 30 minus 24, which is 6, over the original, which is 24. So that's 6 over 24, which is 1 over 4, which is 0.25, and that is 25%. You're turning these all into percents when you're doing them as well. For 2, it says during a thunderstorm, the outdoor temperature went from 88 degrees Fahrenheit to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. So our original is the 88, our new is the 77. Find the percent of decrease. So new minus original, that would be 77 minus 88 over the original, which is 88. So that's negative 11 over 88, which is then negative 0.125. We move the decimal point to make it a percent, and that's negative 12.5%. For our short response questions, for 11, we are finding the percent of increase. So with these, what I'm going to do is just rewrite them over onto the side. So for 11a, it goes from 5 to 7. So our original is the 5, our new is the 7. So we're going to do new minus original, so 7 minus 5 over the original, which is 5. So that's 2 over 5, which in turn is 0.40. If we move the decimal point, that's 40%. For B, we are given 400 to 1,000. So our 400 is our original, our 1,000 is our new minus original, 1,000 minus 400 over the original, which is 400. So that's going to be 600 over 400, which is 6 over 4. So that gives us 1.5. To turn that into the decimal or to the percent, that's 150%. For C, we are given 65 to 195. Our original is the 65, our 195 is the new. So new minus original over the original, that's 195 minus 65 over 65. The 195 minus 65 is 130 over 65 gives us 2. We can move the decimal 2 places, so that's 200%. For D, we have 1,256 to 1,413. So the new is the 1,413. We're going to do 1,413 minus 1,256 all over the original, which is the 1,256. So this is going to give us 157 over 1,256. When we divide those, we get 0.125. We move the decimal point, so that's 12.5%. For 12, we are finding the percent of decrease. So for A, we're given 40 to 34. So our original is the 40, our new is the 34. New minus original over the original. That's going to be 34 minus 40 over 40. 34 minus 40 is negative 6 over 40. The negative 6 over 40 is negative 0.15. We turn this into a percent. That's negative 15%. For B, we are working with 80 degrees Fahrenheit to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. So new is our 75, original is the 80. So new minus original, that is 75 minus 80 over the original, or sorry, new minus original over the original, yes, is over 80. So the 75 minus 80 is negative 5 over 80. The negative 5 over 80 is negative 0.0625. So we turn this into a percent. That's going to give us negative 6.25%. For C, we are working with 200 to 148. Our original is the 200. Our new is the 148. So new minus original over the original. That's 148 minus 200 over 200. 148 minus 200 gives us negative 52 over 200. When we divide these two, we get negative 0.26. We move the decimal 2 places to the right, so that's negative 26%. For D, we're working with 1750 to 0. So our original is the 1750, our new is 0. So it's 0 minus 1750 over 1750. So that's a negative 1750 over 1750, which is just negative 1. So that's 100%. Negative 100%. For 13, we're estimating each percent of change. Show your work. We are just going to find the percent of change here and round to the nearest 100th place value if we need to. So for A, we have 97 to 74. 13A, 97 to 74 are new minus original over the original. So that's going to be 74 minus 97 over the 97. 74 minus 97 gives us negative 23 over 97. When we divide these, we get negative 0.23711. We are going to take the decimal, move it to the right 2 places, and round to the nearest 100th. So this is a negative 23.71%. This is about, since it's rounded. For B, they give us 253 to 201. So 13B, our new is the 201 minus our original, which is 253, over the original of 253. So 201 minus 253 is negative 52 over 253. When we divide these, we get a negative 0.20553. We move the decimal point and round to the nearest 100th. So this is a negative 20.55%. For C, we're given 789 to 1,102. So our original is the 789, our new is the 1102. New minus original is going to give us 1102 minus 789 over the original, which is 789. When we do the 1102 minus 789, we get 313 over 789. From here we divide, and we get 0.39670. We move the decimal point 2 places to the right, we get 39.67%. For D, we have 1006 to 1160. So our new is the 160 minus our original, which is 1006, all over the original, which is 1006. The 1160 minus 1006 gives us 154 over 1006. We divide these, and we get 0.1531, sorry, 08. There we go. We are going to move the decimal point and round to the nearest hundredth. So that's going to be 15.31%. For 14, it says, for A, what is the percent change from 20 to 25? So, looking at 14A, 20 to 25, we were going to do our original of 20, our new of 25, so it's 25 minus 20 over 20, so that's 5 over 20, which is the same thing as 1/4, which is 25%. For B, it says, what is the percent change from 25 to 20? So that's going to be 20 minus 25 over 25. So that's negative 5 over 25, which is negative 1/5. So that's negative 0.20. We move the decimal point, and that's negative 20%. Explain why the answers are different. Now, with these, the answers are different because your starting amount, your original, is different in each, and the new is also different in each. So one is an increase, the other is a decrease because those amounts differ. For applications of percent, there are many everyday situations that involve the use of percent. Determining the selling price of an item is a common problem for retailers and consumers. For the buyer, the amount a regular or listed price is reduced is called a discount. The rate of discount is the percent that the regular price is reduced. So your discount is equal to your regular price times the rate of the discount. Your sales price is equal to the regular price minus the discount. For the retailer, the cost is the original amount of an item. The markup is the percent of increase. The amount of markup is the increase. So your amount of markup is equal to your cost times your markup, and then your selling price is equal to your cost plus the amount of markup. For an example that's done for us, it tells us that a television set is on sale at 15% off the regular price of $459. What is the sale price of the television? So at 100% minus the 15%, that gives us 85%. So we can just take the $459 and multiply the 0.85 to that, and we get 390.15. For 2, it says a department store buyer pays $20 for each sweater that the store will sell. The store sells the sweaters at a 75% markup. Find the selling price of each sweater. So it's the original price, so that's 100% plus 75%. So that's a total of 175% that they're adding on to the $20. So we take the $20 and we multiply it by 1.25, which is the 125% as a decimal, and then we add the amount to it, or we don't have to add the amount to it, I'm sorry, but we just multiply those two and we get $35. A commission is an amount of money that a salesperson earns on a sale. A percent is used to show the rate of commission. Your amount of commission is equal to the amount of sales times the rate of commission. So for an example 3, it says Vanessa is a salesperson at a jewelry store. She earns 8% commission on each sale. How much does she earn on the sale of a $2,400 diamond ring? So we're going to take 8% of that. So that's just multiplying it by 0.08. We get $192. For example 4, it says, what is the total cost of a $30 purchase including 8% sales tax? So the 8% sales tax is the 0.08. The total cost is the 30 times 0.08 plus the 30. Or we can just take 100% and add 8% to that and multiply it by the $30. So we can do these two ways. When you're calculating interest, your interest is a charge for money that is borrowed. When you take a loan from the bank, you pay the bank interest. When you deposit money in a bank, the bank pays you interest because it is using your money to carry on its business. The principal P is the amount of money that an investment or borrower invested or that is invested or borrowed. The interest rate R is the percent charged or earned. The interest rate is usually based on 1 year. Your interest, I, is equal to your principal times your interest rate times the time in years. This is where you're getting your I is equal to P times R times T, and your T is in years. For the calculation of simple interest, the principal and the amount of interest earned each year stay the same. So some examples that are done for you. For 6, it says Roberto has $700 in his savings account. That's your principal. The bank pays 5%. That's your rate. You got to turn that into a decimal. How much money will he have in his account for a year from now and 2 years from now? So you're going to do 700 times 0.05, which is at 5% as a decimal, times the years. So the first one would be 1, that would be $35. So you add that to the $700, that would be $735 in his account. For 2 years, it would be $70. So then you would add that to the $700 to get $770 in the account. For 7, you have a loan amount of 6 months. So that's half a year. So you would represent that year amount as 1/2. For 11, it tells us that Karen bought a $49.95 leather tote bag on sale for $20 off. The sales tax in the area is 7%. To the nearest cent, what was the total cost of the tote bag? So we can take the 20% off and multiply that by the $49.95 by the 0.80, because 100 minus 20% is 100% minus 20% is 80%. Multiply 0.8 times the 49.95. When we do this, we get $39.96. So then that's $39.96. We are then going to multiply the sales tax and add that to it. By doing that, that's 100% plus the 7%. So that's multiplying by 1.07. We get 42.7572. If we add, or if we turn that into an amount of money, we have $42.75. For 12, it says a clothes boutique pays $32 for pairs of designer jeans, which it then marks up $65 during March. The boutique has 25% off sale. What is the sales price of the jeans? So we can do the 32 times 1 plus the $65 mark, or 65% markup, minus the 25% discount. The 65 minus 25 gives us 40. So 1 plus 40% is what we'll multiply the 32 by. So the 32 is being multiplied by 1.4, which gives us $44.80. For our practice problems, for number 1, it says the price of a share of stock went from $30 to $27. What is the percent of decrease? So our new is the 27, our original is the 30. So it's going to be 27 minus 30 over 30. So that's just negative 3 over 30, which is 0.1. If we turn that into a percent, that's negative 10%. For 2, it says the population of a village rose from 5,000 to 5,800. So our original is the 5,000, our new is the 5,800. So that's going to be 5,800 minus 5,000 over 5,000. So that's just 800 divided by 500, or sorry, 5,000. These cancel, so 8 divided by 50 gives us 0.16. We move the decimal point, that's 16%. 3 says a loaf of bread that used to cost $1.50 now costs $1.70. What was the percent of increase in the price? So we're going to do 1.7 minus 1.5 over 1.5, which is 0.2 divided by 1.5. So that's going to give us 0.13 repeating. So that is 13.3 repeating percent. 4 says a house originally listed for sale at $250,000. After 3 months, the seller dropped the price to $235,000. What was the percent of decrease in the price? So we have our new minus our original, so 235,000 minus 250,000 all over the original, which is 250,000. So this is giving us a negative 15,000 divided by 250,000. That gives us a negative 0.06, which is negative 6%. 5 says which represents a percent increase of 20%. So for A, you have 20 to 30, so that's 30 minus 20, which is 10 divided by 20, which is half, that's 50%. B, you have 30 to 40, so that's 10 over 30, that's 33.3 repeating percent. For C, you have 50 to 60, so that's 10 over 50, which is 1/5, that is 20%, so C. For 6, it says which represents a percent decrease of 12.5%. For F, we have 40 to 32, so 32 minus 40 is negative 8 over 40. That's negative 20%. G, we have 72 to 60, so that's 60 minus 72 over 72. That's going to give us a negative 16.6 repeating percent. For H, we have 135 to 122.5. That's going to give us 122.5 minus 135 over 135. That's a negative 9.3%. And then for J, we have 168 to 147. So it's 147 minus 168 over 168. That gives us the negative 12.5% that we're looking for. So that's J. 7 says, which percent increase in temperature is the greatest? For A, we have 25% to 25 degrees to 31 degrees. That's going to be 24%. B, we have 32 to 40 degrees. So that's going to be 20%. For C, that's 50 to 59 degrees. That's 18%. And D, we have 75 to 90 degrees. That's 16.6 repeating percent. So our greatest out of all of these is A. For 8, it says, which student had the smallest percent decrease in test scores from week 1 to week 2? So for Jasmine, we have 90 to 81. That's a negative 10% decrease. For Randy, we have 86 to 76. That is a negative 11.63%. For Maya, we have 75 to 68. So that's a negative 9.3 repeating percent. And then for Stephen, we have from 95 to 83. That's a negative 12.6%. So the smallest there is Maya's. For 9, it says the percent increase in the price of a car was 4%. The new price is $15,600. What was the price before the increase? So we are finding X. That's our new price. We have $15,600 minus something over something is equal to 0.04. So if we multiply each side here by the X, we have 15,600 is equal, minus X is equal to 0.04X. We're going to add the X to both sides. This is going to give us 15,600 is equal to 1.04X. We then divide each side by the 1.04. And X is going to be 15,000. For 10, it says the table shows Pam's hours of community service at the senior center. Which of the following is true? So F says the percent increase from May to June is greater than the percent increase from June to July. So from May to June, that would be 20 minus 100, 20 minus 10 over 20, or over new minus original, over original, which would be 10. So that would be 10 over 10, which is, not 10 over 10. Yeah. Which is 1. So that's 100%. And then from June to July, that's 30 minus 20 over 20, which is 10 over 20. That's 50%. The percent of increase from May to June is greater than the percent of increase from June to July. That is correct. So for our last page here for the practice, for number 1, it says a tie that has a regular price of $16 is on sale at 20% off. What is the sale price? So we are going to do the 100 minus 20% is 80%. We can then multiply the 80% as a decimal to the 16. So 16 times 0.8 is going to give us $12.80. For 2, it says a stereo that regularly sells for $330 is on sale at 15% off. How much will a customer save on the stereo during the sale? So if it's 15% off, we're going to do 100 minus 15%, which is 85%. That's 0.85. We're then going to multiply that by the 330. And that gives us a total of $280.50. 3 says Lauren bought a winter coat that was on sale for 40% off the regular price of $199. How much did she pay? So that's 100 minus 40%, which is 60%. So that's 0.6. We're going to do 199 times 0.6, which gives us a total of $119.40. For 4, it says Mrs. Santiago bought a set of dishes at a factory outlet for $120. The same set of dishes is sold at a 60% markup in a department store. How much did she save? So that markup is added to the $120. So we're going to do 100 plus the 60%, which is 160%. From there, that's 1.6. We're going to multiply that by the 120. And we get $192. So if we subtract these two, that's a difference of $72 that she saved. For 5, it says a restaurant manager figured that the food for the nightly steak special actually cost $8. The restaurant will sell this special at an 80% markup. How much will the customer pay for the steak special? So that 100% of that price plus the 80% gives us 180%, which is 1.8. We multiply that by the $8, and we get $14.40. For 6, it says Martin leaves a 15% tip on a dinner check of $35. What is the total amount he pays for the dinner? So he's going to pay the $35, which is 100%, plus the 15%, which gives us 115%, which is 1.15 as a decimal. So 35 times 1.15 gives us a total of $40.25. For 7, it says Andrea is paid an 18% commission on her cosmetics sales. She sold $550 worth of cosmetics. Find her commission. It's just the commission. So we are going to take that 18%, turn it into a decimal, that's 0.18, and multiply it by the $550. So from here, we are going to have $99 as her commission. For 8, it says Ian deposits $900 in a savings certificate that pays 6.5% annually. How much money will Ian have at the end of 1 year? So our principal is the 900. Our rate is the 0.065, and then the time is the 1. So we'd use 900 times 0.065 times 1, and we get a total, or we get $58.50. So we're going to add that to the 900, and that gives us a total in the account of $958.50. 9 says Doreen invested $1,200 at 7% for 3 years. The $1,200 is our principal. The 0.07 is our rate. and the time is 3. What will Doreen's investment be worth at the end of 3 years? So we're going to find our amount first. We're going to do 1,200 times 0.07 times time, which is 3. We get 252. We are then going to take the 1,200 and add it to the 252, and that gives us a total of $1,452. For 10, it says Mr. Jaffrey borrowed $3,500 at 9% interest. He paid back the loan after 9 months. How much did he repay in all? So the 9 months is 9 out of 12, which is 3/4 of a year. So we are going to do the 3,500 times the 9% as a decimal, so it's 0.09, times the amount of the time in years, so it's 3/4, or 0.75. When we do this, it's going to give us $236.25. So we add that to the 3,500. Oops. 236.25, and that leaves us with a total that he's paying back of $3,736 total.